Junior women's quads. That's 2 oars per person. On the start, we've got Wycliffe Junior Rowing Club A on the left of your picture, and Sydney Rowing Club from Australia.
I love watching the quad start as well. You know, it almost feels like it's got the same speed and power of an 8, but somehow it's almost even faster to move up to its pace, because it's a smaller boat and obviously less weight because there's only 4 athletes in it, and you get that amazing reaction again.
Yeah, it's more synchronicity, isn't it, really, because each athlete's got control of 2 oars and both sides of the boat, so it's something that can be super efficient if you do it well, as you say.
I was going to say, definitely if you do it well. It can be super awful if you could do it badly, as I might have experienced. But this is 2 crews, once again, doing great battle coming down the island. So straight out of the start, no one's giving an inch. Again, these are coxless boats, so what you get is somebody in the boat will be giving the calls, will be keeping one firm eye. Oh, I think we've just seen a slight clip of the water from Sydney, and again, you can see Wycliffe just pouncing on that mistake and moving out. And again, in these conditions, any slight mistake that you can take advantage of.
So first 200 metres, pretty much neck and neck. Possibly Wycliffe have even got a seat on Sydney, if we've got the angle right here. But great rowing, really good efficiency from both crews, very, very strong. And it's hard to call at this stage, isn't it? It's hard to call.
Yeah, this is a really lovely angle. We're seeing really great sculling from both crews, and again, like leaning into this headwind, they're using their legs to get into it, not opening their backs too early, just getting the blades in as far out as they can, and then just using a long leg push to accelerate the boat into the wind.
So Wycliffe have started to move. They've got 2, perhaps 3 seats over Sydney as we pick it up a little bit further down the course, and continuing to move. We're maybe 200 metres further down now, and Wycliffe looking to have the edge over Sydney at the moment. But it looks to me like Sydney, well, are keeping going a bit longer. They've got that start phase momentum, and they're going to keep that pace and that energy up. A little bit of steering from Sydney here. We come into the wider part of the course with the crosswind. Yeah,
it can still be an unpredictable part of the course, but I think if you're in the Wycliffe boat now, you're feeling you've got a bit more of a comfort feeling. You've got that gap that you wanted. There's the broken, the clear water, and listen, you can just hear that water.
Oh, what a sound! It's like a train. It's so synchronized and so smooth and so powerful all at once, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I mean, in both crews, those 8 women really powering down the course. Again, we say it's a long course, but Wycliffe did the damage reasonably early on. You know, they was very, very tight out of the island. They moved away, and then they just took, in that middle part of the race, took enough that they can now, I think we'll see them, you know, the rate's starting to come down now. They'll, again, just lengthen out. They'll try and save some energy for tomorrow. I think in a quad, there's always that feeling of if you needed to step it on, these boats can change speeds relatively quickly. So if the opposition suddenly do something dramatic, you can respond. But right now, they'll be feeling in a good place.
Well, in that middle section of the race, I think Wycliffe really pushed out and broke that kind of pace from Sydney. Sydney really kept the rate very, very high. A lot of energy going on to see if they could stay on terms. But Wycliffe, very mature rowing here. So we've joined the race live now. These races are at 5-minute intervals, but they take longer than 5 minutes. So we show you the beginning, and then we jump live. And this is the live action now from Henley Regatta 2023. It's Friday. We're moving through the knockout competitions. 81 races today. 81 crews will be knocked out of the competition, and 81 crews will go through to fight in another round. It's so exciting. It's everything or nothing, isn't it, in this kind of tournament, one-on-one.
I know, and I think that's why it feels very dramatic when you're entered. It's, you know, depending on the draw, depending on who you're up against, depending on who you come next to, you know, in one race it's over, and I mean, the drama in every single race matters, because you're either finished for the week or you're going on to the next day. So, you know, I really hope Sydney have had a good week. They're putting in a really good stretch coming down this, but they have eventually been beaten by a better crew today.
Yeah, but both crews looking really well drilled, actually, as you say. You know, pretty strong crosswind, blustery wind here, and keeping their composure and just pushing on. You can see wind in the hair of the athletes there, just kind of constantly pushing the boats over sideways a little bit. So a lot of steering correction needed, which is not efficient. But really impressed to see how they're doing in that Wycliffe crew. That's Lily Martin, 17-year-olds, sitting at bow and also steering, so a lot of responsibility there in these conditions. She's got a little bit of movement on her foot that uses the rudder to course correct the direction of the shell. But they're coming into the closing stages now, and Wycliffe looking really strong. So.
Yeah, they'll just be soaking this bit up. This is a lovely, it's such a privilege to be. You've got yourself in a position that the work has been done now, and almost whatever your opposition does, you've got enough within you, so they can enjoy the crowds at this point.
So from stroke, Ella Foreman, and then Violet Holbrow Brooksbank at 3, Yasmin Howe at 2, and Lily Martin in the bow seat there of Wycliffe Junior Rowing Club A. Amazing junior program, had such success crossing the line, booking their place in the semi-finals. And Sydney, from halfway around the world, they rose to the challenge. What an exciting thing to row at Henley Royal Regatta for the first time. But Wycliffe take the victory in the Diamond Jubilee over Sydney.